Greetings, welcome back to the Casual Wargamer, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Agents of the Imperium preview from the Games Workshop Warhammer community page. This is where you add those little tiny armies. It used to just be things like Inquisition, but now that we've got extra things that have been brought in through the likes of some of the smaller scale skirmish games and boarding actions, you're seeing a bit more variety. They don't have a detachment of their own, they're just an add-on to whatever you take if you're an Imperial faction, and depending on the size of the game depends how many retinue units and how many character units you can take. And none of these can be your warlord. Simple. And we get 4 previews in this and nothing else. The first is the Vindicare Assassin, which is the archetypal assassin in the 40k game. Who is as good as you would have thought of. 7-inch movement, 4 toughness, 6 armor saves, but 4 up invulnerable, 4 wounds, 6 leadership, 1 OC. Comes equipped with an Exodus pistol and an Exodus rifle. The pistol is devastating wounds, ignores cover, precision, only 12-inch range, 3 attacks, hits on 2, strength 5, AP -2, but 3 damage. So if he ever should get up in combat, he's basically going into the character and bumping them off. The Exodus rifle is the same, except instead of being a pistol weapon, it's heavy. 48-inch range, 1 shot, hits on 2s, strength 7, AP -3, D3 +3 damage. Perfect for targeting characters, leaders, whatever you need, and taking them out. He has a Vindicare combat knife, which is nothing special. It's the abilities that really pump him up, though. Infiltrator, lone operative, stealth, fine. Dead shot. Each time this model makes a ranged attack, if a critical hit is scored, you add 3 to the damage characteristics of that attack. And after this model has resolved its ranged attacks, this is a wordy one. Select one enemy unit that was hit by one or more of these attacks and they must make a battle shock test. Love it. Again, perfect. You score a critical hit, you're taking out a character, you're doing D3 +6 damage to a character. Awesome. And he has Shield Breaker, which is once per battle. When you select a target for the model's Exodus rifle, you can choose to fire the Shield Breaker round, and if you do so until the end of the phase, each time this model makes an attack with that weapon, no saving throws of any kind. Awesome. You're going to use this to basically finish off those greater demons, characters with silly high and vulnerable saves, finish off vehicles or knights. It's a one-shot use, very, very good. I can certainly see myself possibly taking a Vindicare Assassin. So, the next one, not so much. The basic Inquisitor. 6 movement, 3 toughness, 4 up armor save, 5 invulnerable, 4 wounds, 6 leadership, 1 OC. Basic weaponry, a bolt pistol and a combi weapon, neither of which are particularly amazing, to be honest. And has the Psychic Shockwave psychic power, which is devastating, torrent, 18-inch range, 2d6 attacks, strength 3, AP -1, 1 damage. Very handy if you need to clear out a number of small gribbly things like gaunts or guardsmen or cultists within a short range, but not amazing. Inquisitorial melee weapon, fairly basic, and a force weapon, which 4 attacks, hits on 3, strength 5, AP -2, D3 damage. Psychic keyword, but force weapons have never been good since 4th edition, so not overly impressed by that. However, abilities. You have Authority of the Inquisition. So while this model is leading a unit, it can embark within any transport that its bodyguard unit can embark with. I'm going to assume that means that you can put an Inquisitor with a unit from your own army, not necessarily with a retinue unit that you could take. You could just take this guy and put him with guardsmen in a Chimera or Space Marines in a Land Raider or a Rhino. Otherwise, that's a bit of an odd ability. And if so, fair enough. Power of the Rosette. Each time you target this model's unit with a stratagem on a 6, you roll d6 on a 3+, you gain a CP. Cool. So you can use it for a little bit of CP farming. And the war gear options. Psychic gifts, you can make them a psyker, presumably get that psychic shockwave power and the force weapon. But the important one is blessed wardings. While this model is leading a unit, models in that unit get a 5-up, feel no pain against mortal wounds. That's nice. But all in all, not very impressive. Unless you've got one of the big named Inquisitors, the basic ones generally don't seem worth the effort. So, and this guy is basically that. The next option is the Imperial Navy Breachers, who I think, memory not great on this one, but I think they were introduced for the boarding actions variation a few months back. They aren't great. Let's have a look. 6-up movement, toughness 3, strength, save 4, 1 wound, leadership 8, OC 2, basic weaponry, nothing that you haven't seen before, nothing particularly great. Again, melee weapons are basic, nothing special. They do have a couple of options. They have an ability called Breaching Team. So each time a mod in this unit makes an attack, re-roll a wound roll of 1. But if that target is within range of an objective marker, you can re-roll the entire wound roll instead. Okay, nice, but nothing we haven't seen on other data sheets. The war gear options. If you take an endurance shield, the bearer gets a 4-up invulnerable save. And if you take grenade belts, you gain the smoke keyword. And if you use the grenade stratagem, you get an additional d6. Okay, but why would you take this over anything from your own army? Not really sure. I can see maybe you will like this if you're still playing boarding actions, but overall, not overly impressed. Lastly, we get Inquisitor Greyfax, one of the named characters introduced at the very end of 7th edition, going into 8th, and then we've heard very little about her since. 6 movement, 3 toughness, 3 armor, 5 invulnerable, 4 wounds, 4 leadership, which is great, and 1 OC. Weapon-wise, she's a bit disappointing, if I'm honest. She has a psychic power called Castigation. She's anti-character 4+, devastating wounds, precision, obviously psychic, 18-inch range, 1 attack, hits on 3, strength 8, -2, 3 damage. Okay, if you really want to blast one model off of a unit, fine. Better against a character if you can get within range of one, but not amazing. And she has a Condemned Stake, which is kind of her weird crossbow bolt gun thing. She's anti-psyker 2, which is very nice. Devastating wounds, precision, rapid fire 1. 24-inch range, 1 shot, hits on 3, strength 4, no AP though, 1 damage. Okay, you've got the devastating wounds and the anti-psyker, but against most times during the game, or against most armies, she's not going to be great. Mastercrafted Power Sword, which isn't amazing. But let's take a look at the abilities. So she has Authority of the Inquisition. So again, if she's with a bodyguard squad, they can go on one of their transports. She has a Psyoculum, which means all models in the unit she is leading get anti-psyker 4+. Now that's big if you're playing the right opponent. If you're going up against the likes of Grey Knights, Thousand Suns, to a lesser extent, Eldari or Tyranids, that's phenomenal. And then she has no escape. So each time an enemy unit, excluding monsters or vehicles, is within engagement range of 1 or more units with this ability, and they are selected to fall back, models in that unit must make desperate escape tests as if they were battle shocked. And if they're already battle shocked from something else, they get -1. Okay, nice. But nothing stands out to me that she's particularly amazing. Maybe I've missed something, but not overly impressed. When I first read it, I thought, oh, she's not bad for what she is. But all in all, actually, I think I wouldn't bother. Out of the previews we've got here, the Vindicare Assassin is the only one that I would actually give consideration to now taking. But I'm hoping that when we get the actual data sheet, the index for it, the other inquisitorial characters might be worth an inclusion. Otherwise, that's it. Not the most amazing of previews, I'm a little surprised they did it, to be honest, but not going to complain. What are your thoughts on these? Does anyone even ever take them anymore? I mean, seriously, Inquisitorial alloys, when you've got so many good things in your own armies, do you need these? Do you take them? Let me know. In the meantime, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Until next time, take care, good gaming.